Now, I've heard the argument that, oh, well, you only make up 1% of the population of this country. Well, that's true. That is very true. But you know what? There's more of us than you. Because after all, there was enough of us to keep Trump out of office. We have allies who are also arming up. Because this is a war you started. The old expression, you prod the bull long enough, you're going to get the horns. If you back a wild animal into a corner, they're going to become a dangerous animal. So if you want to die on that hill of yours of righteousness and moral majority, then you go right ahead. I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. This is a call to action and a call to arms to everybody within the United States that are scared, worried, have children that are transgender, lesbian, bi, or gay. This is a call to action. You need to arm up. Plain and simple. Go out, buy a gun. Learn how to use it efficiently, through and through. Because the time to act is now. You need to protect yourself and you need to protect your fellow transgender brothers and sisters and theys and thems. You need to protect the rest of us in the LGBT community, as I'm going to do myself. I do not fear Christians, I do not fear conservatives, I do not fear evangelicals, and I do not fear Republicans. They just talk a big game. That's all they do. But heaven forbid you do something in my presence, you're going to know what fear actually feels like.
Brother,
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Isn't that what it's giving? It's giving that, isn't it? Because for real, yuck. Hi guys, it's Hop K. Welcome back to my channel. I know that this video is an old video, but there's been a lot of this going around, so I thought it's worth talking about again. So, as you have seen in that video, that is disgusting behavior. Like, I am not a fan of trans women going into women's bathrooms either. To be honest with you, I don't even know why our governments are rallying so hard for trans people, but at the same time are not trying to provide special toilets for them. Like, at this point, that's where we're heading, in my opinion. We're going to have the men's bathrooms, the women's bathrooms, the disabled bathrooms, babies changing rooms, and then trans people. Because why are we not just doing that? It would be so much easier and so much safer for everybody involved. Anyway, let's watch some stitches and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your family and friends. Let your nana know that Hope has posted and it's about to go down.
I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom.
I dare you to try. Just try.
I support trans people, but that does not mean that I support violent people. I would stop you from going into the women's restroom. I would stop you from going to the men's restroom. I would stop you from going into any public place, really. You cannot be around children when you're so clearly prone to violence. If you ever had the balls to try anything close to what you claimed you would do in that video, you would go to jail. Do you want to know why? Because it would be premeditated. And on top of that, being misgendered, being prevented the use of a restroom are not viable threats to your life. They're wrong, they're hurtful, yes. They're not a viable threat. People like you make me so angry, so mad. Why? Because you are hurting the trans community. Your story's all over every social media app. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Do you know what the headline is? Trans person calls for trans community to arm up. Trans person threatens to shoot anybody who would stop them from using the restroom. And now people in this country are using your story to advocate to take away rights from trans people all over the states. So my advice to you is to get off social media, go see a therapist, and go find peace.
15-year-old daughter was raped in a bathroom by a boy wearing girls' clothes, and the Loudoun County School Board covered it up because it would have interfered with their transgendered policy during Pride Month. And that man, Scott Smith, because he went to a school board and tried to defend his daughter's rights, was condemned internationally. Do you apologize to Scott Smith and his 15-year-old daughter, Judge?
Senator, anyone whose child was is the most horrific crime I can imagine, and is certainly entitled and protected by the First Amendment to protest to their school board about this.
But he was cited by the School Board Association
as a
domestic terrorist, which we now know that letter and those reports were the basis for your judgment.
No, Senator, that's wrong.
Shameful. Judge, this is shameful. This testimony, your directive, your performance is shameful.
That's not correct.
Thank God you are not on the Supreme Court. You should resign in disgrace, Judge.
Here's the thing. I'm really not sure one thought this through before posting it and what exactly that sounds like. I really hope that that's the case, because it's not just females that use the restroom or women. There's also children, little girls, and I frankly don't care what a person identifies as or what they are biologically, male or female. If any person makes any child feel uncomfortable in a public restroom, believe me, there is an absolute lot that I can say, and there is a lot that I can do to ensure that that child will feel safe. And so when one says something like this,
there's nothing you can do to stop me. You can try, but you'll fail.
There is absolutely something that I can say and something that I can do, because children deserve to be protected above all else. Their safety and well-being comes before anybody else's feelings.
First of all, that was clearly a threat, right? Do we have any confusion about that? And so it should be in conflict with the community guidelines of this site. But we all know full well it will never be taken down. But that is actually beside the point that I want to make here. My position regarding this whole who gets to use what facilities situation as a dad, as a girl dad in particular, is that if that person gets to go into the women's bathroom, then so do I. And so if my daughter and I are in public and she has a situation, she can go in there and I get to go in with her. And in this way, I personally am going to guarantee a safe perimeter around her, because it's dads, not doors, that make girls safe.
I'm going to try and keep a really level head when I talk about it. So as a transgender woman who uses the female bathroom, that's where I feel safe. I've done a whole video on that. It'll be pinned on my page. The audacity that this person has to threaten every woman and child is absolutely disgraceful. After seeing a lot of people's reactions to it, and everyone's outraged, and rightly so, women are absolutely disgusted in this attitude, and I completely agree. To see these awful, extreme views that someone has, and then watch, I just sat back and watched on social media how everyone is now talking about it, and it's just creating the most negative image for trans people, when so many of us just want to have a normal life. We want respect and we want to feel safe in whatever bathroom we feel comfortable in. And to see this person, that one video is taking away so much from what we are constantly fighting and working towards. We just want equality. We want the same quality of life as everyone. And the misogyny that this person has, and the audacity that they have to threaten women in their space, when as trans women, we are asking to use a female space. It's terrifying to see how anyone who is transphobic or has any slight reservations around trans people, these kinds of videos that has gone viral, it doesn't help. It's just reinforcing those views, when I urge people to look at like Dominique Jackson and Laverne Cox, two incredible, strong trans women who are just phenomenal. but their light is getting dimmed and their voices are not being heard because of people like Tara and the Jeffrey Marshes of the world who have these outrageous opinions and they say these outrageous things and they are painting us in an unflattering way. I hope not everyone thinks that all trans women think like that, because we really don't. I'm always going to try and be the most positive person I can be. We're put on this earth to live our lives, love, and have a good time. And as cringy as that sounds, I do believe that, to try and be as happy as we possibly can be, because we're not here for very long. I just want to remind you all that we all don't think like this, and we're not all violent and aggressive and nasty people like that. And I hope you all have a lovely day. Bye.
You can try, but you'll fail. But seeing as how you don't know where I live and I don't know where you live and you're hiding behind a keyboard, you can see my face because, yeah, clearly I've got more guts. But, hey, you do you, boo, but you're not going to stop me. Have a day.
Yeah, we will. Here's my face. Here's my accomplishments. Not through text, I'm not scared of you either. And you're not going in with my wife or daughter.
Okay, I'm trans, and I support the trans community and, like, people identifying how they want to and, like, go to the bathroom they want and stuff. But, like, honestly, in my personal opinion, and I'm not, like, a legal advisor or nothing, but in my personal opinion, even if you're cis and, like, somebody is, like, accusing you of being trans and they want you to, like, leave a bathroom or, like, they're, like, telling you to leave a building or something, in my personal opinion, it is never worth it to, like, threaten to fight back or threaten to come back and fight them or, like, pull a gun or a knife or anything like that, because you never know. That person could have a worse weapon or also have a gun, and, like, you could literally lose your life in a situation like that. It is never worth it to, like, fight back, in my opinion. Like, for instance, if you're working at a mini mart and somebody comes in with a gun and they're like, give me all the cigarettes, you don't say no, you don't say I'm calling the cops on you. You give them all the cigarettes, you give them all the money in the register, because your life, your job, nothing is worth that. Like, pissing your pants is not worth your life. Like, honestly, in my opinion, like, personally, I would say go to another restroom. If it's like someone's threatening you outside of a building that you work at or you have to be at, call the people you're supposed to see, like your boss, be like, hey, there's someone threatening me. I can't come into work right now because it's not safe for me. Is there any way you could come in and, like, try again in, like, an hour or two? Like, call the police. Like, or my opinion, just do not escalate a situation like that or threaten violence back, because, like, you're threatening with a gun, supposedly, to protect yourself and protect your rights. You potentially could be killed because you're threatening someone with a gun who was just gonna yell at you and, like, threaten you. They could also have a gun. Like, you never know. And it's like, in my opinion, your life is not worth it. You're trying to experience these rights and protect your rights, supposedly, but, like, you need to be able to survive and live to be able to experience those rights. It's not worth it to fight for those rights and pull a gun on someone who's telling you, oh, you need to leave the bathroom because I think you're trans, even if you're cis, in my opinion. Like, it is not worth it to potentially lose your life fighting for your rights that you do deserve. In my opinion, you do deserve to use the restroom that you prefer, but it is not worth it to lose your life when you need to be able to live to experience those rights that you deserve. Like, you know.
Hey, how you doing? How's your mama and them today? Well, apparently, while me and the fam were out and about for Random Road Trip Sunday, which is a little tradition we just started, Mr. Thomas J. White, also known as Tara versus the World, which currently no truer words have been spoken, started himself what could only be called a Cat 5 apocalyptic shit show hurricane. Did you really think threatening women on this planet was going to work out for you, bro? I mean, did you think you were safe behind that screen and that people wouldn't find out your true name, your home address, where you work, the fact that you have a baby diaper fetish? and a love for animals in a way that no human should love animals. Yeah, see that thing about, firing off a 50 cal in a glass house? Not too bright. Even I knew as a small child, if you're going to be dumb, you're going to need to be 10 times as tough. And wow, baby diaper fetish and reality. Whew. And you think we don't have a reason for us to be concerned about you being in the bathroom with our kids? If there's a basement in your house, I'd damn sure be sending the authorities to make sure there wasn't someone trapped in it. Because, yeah, you have definitely got an illness, and the image that you have brought upon transgender women, for some, I don't judge everybody by one person, but there are those that will. And now, yeah, you have become the pariah of not only society, but I'm pretty sure of the LGBTQ, etc. You done fucked up, everyone. Oh, P.S. I'm trying to verify this information right now, but I was told that Thomas J. White is currently behind bars waiting to be bonded out. I'm looking for the info right now. We can only hope that's true. But if anybody can help me find that information, that'd be smashing. He's also been accused of being a wife beater from his ex-wife. So yeah, let's find that out while we're at it.
So here's the long and short of it, right? We are not saying that trans people do not deserve access to bathrooms. They absolutely do deserve it. But isn't it funny that trans men are not getting any airtime? Clearly, this is a safety issue because men feel safe around men and women women feel safe around mostly women than they do around men. So when you are a man who is now transitioning into a woman, I'm sorry, but that woman is still going to see you as a man and a possible threat and a possible danger, because men in society have been menaces for so long that we associate you guys with a lack of safety around women, around children, and other members of society, yourselves. It's ridiculous. It's crazy that there's some people who do not understand this argument. Like I said, I think genuinely the only solution on top of my head is to just have separate bathrooms, because I feel so uncomfortable. This has happened to me actually in real life. I went to Croydon in London, and I believe it was McDonald's. Yes, it was McDonald's. The bathroom had just recently integrated it as open for all. The men, this blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. If you people live in Croydon, or if I've ever been in Croydon, or have actually come across these toilets, please back me up, because I couldn't believe that this is a thing that's happening. It's literally like the way swimming pool changing rooms are, where, yes, sure, you've got a men's section and a women's section, whatever, but it's really open for everyone. It's so accessible and stuff. So I was just thinking to myself, because I remember going into the bathroom with my daughter, and she was around, I want to say 3 at the time. She's 7 now. But I was going into the bathroom with her, and fully a whole man came out of the bathroom, and I had to double take because I thought I genuinely was in the wrong stalls. This must be the men's bathrooms, and I've turned the wrong way. I went left instead of right, or right instead of left. I genuinely thought it was a me problem. But it turns out, no. It's free access, all for all. And I remember it was the first time in my life that I went inside the bathroom, locked the door behind me, and still didn't feel safe. Every time a door swung open, every time I heard footsteps, I was just like, oh my goodness, what if it's a random man? And what if he does random man things? It just wasn't okay. I can't imagine that being our norm. Now that I've mentioned the swimming pool access thing, it's so crazy that that's a thing, because we are the most vulnerable at that time. And clearly I've not heard crazy stories about predatory men. I'm sure there have been, because I was going to say where there's a man, there's a predator. No, scratch that. No, I love men. I adore them sometimes. But yeah, so I haven't heard any crazy stories. Maybe this integration of toilets isn't that big of a... Nah, I'm tripping. I'm acting out. I'm acting all the way out. I'm not going to front with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I do find it strange and funny, I guess, in a way, that the changing room situation seems to always work out, and we're feeling weird about the bathroom situation. But I don't care. I feel weird about the bathroom situation, and I too deserve a space where I feel safe and comfortable. That's the thing about trans people as well. Like, a lot of them seem to be making the argument that they deserve comfort and they deserve to be their authentic selves, but they're not willing to let us be comfortable. They're not willing to let us be happy in our own spaces and be our own authentic selves, because our authentic self apparently is oppressive to them, but their authentic self is also oppressive to us. So I don't know, in this cat and mouse game, like what we're gonna do. Like, what does the future really hold? I could ramble on and on and on for ages, but I'm going to stop it right here. Please get the discussion popping. What do you think about this? Are you threatened? Is a lack of a better word, but yeah, are you threatened as a woman with the idea of trans men sharing our bathrooms, or do you think it's a non-problem? It's not a big deal. It's a non-starter. And if you feel that way, why do you feel that way? Let it be known. Help us understand. And if you're on the opposing side, also let us know why you don't feel safe in the bathrooms, especially if the swimming changing rooms work out when we are literally naked. So yeah, get the discussion popping. If you've got examples and ideas, let us know and share. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and switch on your notification bells so that you know every time I upload. And until next time, stay safe out there, because the crazies are getting crazier. Cheerio.
Got it! Got it! They got it. In it. Zomari gets a blue ticket or sadi yes. If I kuyankila zo delete in AI. View one soon gonna I. Nema phone and the zoom mpaga ganai. Naneni mutu. Kaya logo chicken ni bola ni kuku. Screenshot yoni wumba in it. Sinde phone pressure ngari wampumu. Ay 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 ay. Zondi venga in it. Zondi enda mbali in it. Boss, zondi venga ife. Inu, zondi enda mbali ife. You got it. In it. You got it.